Welcome back. For this month's episode, we're going to be talking a little bit about, we're going to take ourselves back to the beginning when we first started CrossFit. Why did we get into this? What were we looking for? And what was it that tempted us to get into the CrossFit gym, okay? And I'm just going to give you some things that I hear a lot when I first talk to people. Most of you have probably, when you first started, talked to me first. And I hear a lot of things. It revolves around, I want to lose weight, I want to get toner, I want just to feel better. And we have a conversation, and normally my conversation goes like this. I'm like, well, CrossFit is a program that we're not specializing in one thing. We're trying to do, just be okay and be able to do a lot of different things. We want to be able to lift weights, we want to be able to run, we want to be able to do basic gymnastics, but at no point did I ever say we are going to be masters at any of this. And what does all this do? It makes us a very well-rounded, healthy individual. All right? So that's kind of the start. And then we get into our first workout. Okay, you come to Elements, it's your first day, you're all excited, and we get through our first workout. 45 minutes of that class, we are hammering mechanics, right? It may be the first time that you've squatted the way that we teach how to squat, the first time you've ever been taught a kettlebell swing, or whatever it was with the movements that we did today. It was your first time. And then we finish with a little workout. I've never let anyone in my Elements classes go heavier than a bar. And after those workouts, you guys it was a good workout. You're breathing hard, you feel good, but you're like, man, I got a good workout in, okay? And then we go to the whiteboard and we talk and we log our scores. This is the first score that you ever logged in CrossFit. And I always have this conversation that revolves around why we log our scores. And the only reason we track our scores and we log our times is to assess our own improvement. And I have this really deep conversation with all of you after your first workout of whatever your time is only about you. It's not about anyone else in the gym. The weight you used was customized for what you should be doing that day. And I tell you, please do not forget that. When you get into CrossFit classes, sometimes it's easy to get caught up in the whiteboard. What weight should I be using? What's the RX weight? And that type of thing. And I warn everybody that goes through my Elements, I'm like, please don't get caught up into that. Remember, why we're here is for our own improvement, and we should always be doing what we can do to make our movements the best they can possibly be, because that at the end is going to strive us towards our end goal. And our only end goal is longevity. I want to be able to be doing an air squat that looks right when I'm 80. And we can do that if we approach every day in that manner. The mechanics and the consistency of movements are the most important part. They're way more important than the weights and all of that. Or the times, for that matter. We want to come out of here feeling good. And then what starts to happen is, okay, you get 3 months, 6 months into CrossFit. The PRs are drastic. We're talking 100-pound PRs on something like a deadlift. And this is in your first 6 months. And that's not necessarily because you are stronger. It's because you are more familiar with the movement. You've gotten comfortable with deadlifts. You've done all the movements now at least probably 10 times in a matter of 6 months. And so things are more familiar with you. You're getting better at the mechanics. You're recruiting the muscles you're supposed to. And things start to switch with our plan when we go into classes. Our goals change. It's no longer about, is this workout going to make me live a better quality of life? It goes around, what's the RX weight? Who can I beat today? What was their time? And when that starts to become the focus, mechanics, consistency and movement, and sometimes even doing all the reps becomes less important than the time you get and the weight you're using. And that alone right there will send us the opposite direction of what our main goal was in the beginning, which is longevity, quality of life. I want to feel good after every time I leave here. Alright, so now that we're aware of that, I'm going to talk about how to look at a workout and sort of start to decide what you should be doing to get the most out of this workout. If it's higher reps, with movement that you're still kind of learning. I know, okay, I'm going to have to lower the weight on this so I can move through this methodically and not break down in my movements. I'm going to have to use lighter weights. This is a movement that I'm not super familiar with. You shouldn't look at the workout and say, I can do that weight with that movement, therefore I'm just going to do it RX, even though I know it's a movement that I'm still working at and I still have a lot of room to grow in that movement. And what this is going to do for you is you're going to leave here every day feeling good. You're going to get your workout in. You're going to be able to push. You're going to hit the stimulus that we wanted for that workout. And that, over time, is going to make you better and better. What would happen if you picked the RX weight that day, the likelihood of something getting tweaked or getting like a very small injury and possibly having to take more time off from your training, that is moving us in the wrong direction, which our only goal here is longevity. We want to be able to move when we're older. All right, guys, happy holidays, and I will see you in the beginning of the new year.